Hmm. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Louise. Hi.
Hi, Isaac. I'll just pin
Hey,
you.
Louise.
Hi.
Yeah.
Pin you. Um, I have a inquiry I'd love some help with. And it has to do with, I think restlessness is perhaps the closest thing, um, or a lethargy, um, almost being not sure what to do with myself. Something like that. And there doesn't seem to be an impetus to do something, but it's not a state of peace either.
I understand. Curious what you notice when you just rest there. If anything changes, or what happens.
In this resting, restlessness doesn't feel like a possibility.
Yeah. So, we've somehow our culture or our conditioning is very much revolved around doing. And so there's no direction, so to speak, no direction, then I'd say that's when that restlessness kicks in. But when we just chat and we don't need direction, then restlessness doesn't have sway or doesn't have a pull to it.
The restlessness is just mind activity. You should be doing this. Why don't you
Yeah,
do that? Why aren't you
yeah,
doing this? Just,
yeah.
mm.
That's how what I picked up when we were sitting, just was looking to see. It's so funny because I mean, life seems to just in the, like getting food and then cooking it and then whatever, whatever else there is. Then when we in even a simple motion like that, there's no restlessness because we kind of when there's no clear direction, it's just okay. Well, I have this time, and nothing has grabbed me in terms of.
So it's just allowing that to be okay and use it as an opportunity just to sit or be.
It is to be. I mean, because in a way, it's like our orientation has been very involved with our perception of life. That's the way we've been conditioned. Yeah. So, and we haven't had much of an invitation to meet the moment as the beloved. So, and then just sitting sounds a bit boring in a way. It's like, okay. But this meeting the moment as the beloved is, it seems, if that becomes the main interest, it does away with everything else. But in this goal-oriented conditioning that most of us have been subjected to, it's a subtle invitation that's easily overlooked. Yeah.
Thank you. That's so helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Ah, yeah. Hey.
Oh, it's so funny to watch this old habit of all the narratives that have been tried around it. And when you were talking with the last Louise, I just watched the it's always, it's often there, the hesitation, just wanting to connect, you know, and say hello, my
And
darling.
and when we do connect, it's just love, meaning love.
And
It's
it's
just so beautiful.
yeah. And what I see, there's a new, not a narrative, but a different seeing. And it's like like one of those sweets, one of those chocolates, and not a chocolate because a chocolate melts. One of those hard lollies that you suck, and then eventually in the middle there's the softness and this joy, which is all I can. This joy that has been so misunderstood by the observing mind is just wants to just explode. And all the stories of fear and anxiety and don't want to be seen, it's just so funny to feel it in the nervous system like a bunch of wriggly worms, you know. But it's so lovely to be with you.
Let's just sip on this nectar.
It's almost too much for the body, the physicality of it. You've got a lovely big container there. But it just feels, it's a nice fresh perspective, you know, instead of the and the witnessing, you know, when you were talking to Louise, I experienced what she talked about a lot. And the fact that I've got so many things going on in my body, which are very uncomfortable. I've got nothing pulling on me in the world outside there. I've got all the time, the gift of so much time. So I sit in that, and the fine line between, I was watching Micah's meeting yesterday, which I loved. I love all her meetings. And it's a very fine line between the observer and the noticing, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's like there's the activity observing, and then on that gets imposed this observer. But actually, there's just observing. There isn't really, if you look for the observer, you can't find it. You can just find that activity going on, yeah. And so, you know, it's like, and that observing, again, it's this funny thing. It's like, I think in most of us, it's gotten used to looking for what's wrong. It doesn't look for meeting the moment as beloved. You know, it's like it's so it's like, okay, what am I feeling or what's going on? You know, it's like it's not wow. Um, how sweetly can the interplay between everything and this gentle resting be, you know, and just like it's like when we rest together like this, it's just love meeting. For me, it feels like love meeting love. It's just like the bodies start enjoying like a kind of a nectar, and then we get warm and all this good stuff.
But I really want to acknowledge, the witnessing, the absolute gift of your presence. Because for all the wiring in the system here, this is, yeah, no words, you know, it just blows me away how quickly it's available in, and the field too. Absolutely acknowledge this incredible field. So much gratitude.
Yeah. Wow. Lucky, man. To taste this even once in a lifetime is unbelievable grace. And then to taste it again and again and again and again, just getting finer and finer in it. Wow.
See you soon.
Thanks.
You're definitely coming to Margaret River, aren't you?
Yes, no, that's
Set.
it's happening. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Hmm. Nice.
Here a
Very
frog.
nice. Yeah, he's a loud frog. Or she, I think, I'm not sure.
I was a kind of busy this week with receiving the moment as the beloved, and yeah, when it's happening from out of the nervous system, there's always a kind of resistance to something, and I came to the point that I start to really see that it's not something from the body or so. It's the body is included in receiving this moment. I can still feel a like and a dislike to what's happening around me. And then things are coming always kind of relational or something. I need something from the outside world. But from this other perspective, I still hear a lot of noise. I'm not.
Say again?
Still hear a lot.
Somebody's mic might be on.
Okay. I try to include dislike then. But it feels like yeah, when I look from this other perspective, it opens a kind of a field to this longing for rest and expansion. In which things are not so relational anymore. It's just like still feel the dynamic or something, but without the judgment, without the good and the wrong, without yes, without the good and the wrong, without yeah. I was a little bit distracted by all the noise, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It feels like a kiss. Yeah. Yeah, it feels like a delicate kiss. Also a delicate kiss too. There are a lot of fixed personalities in my mind or so. my neighbors or my friends or my family members. And I always have a kind of reaction to these fixed persons in my mind, actually.
Mm.
And I sit out in the outside world and just always the same thing, it's always the same story. But it feels like this kiss is also kissing this fixed
Mm.
world inside,
Yeah.
in which I live all the time or so. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just a habit, you know. I mean, it's somehow, you know, like there's been this conditioning to know that we meet someone and we get an impression and we think we know them. But we know if we're not in this kiss, it's like because that's fresh, you know, it's like there's no
Yeah, there is no
construct on top. Yeah.
understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it feels more fluid actually.
Yeah.
My heart, yeah. It's just a free movement actually. Yeah. Also, love can be for everybody. It's not so personal anymore. You can just love everybody, and you are loving everybody actually.
Exactly. And it's just loving love in a way, you know, because there's no body. It's just constantly changing manifestation, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I was reaching a little bit that point, but
There's no object
yeah,
for the loving. Loving love. Yeah.
that was a strange thing actually. I feel touched by it actually. Mm. Feels like the whole world is a kind of falling apart inside me.
How lucky.
Oh, I'm trembling everywhere now. Yeah. I have to do it very slowly, so I stop it. Yeah, I have to come back another time. Yeah.
Anytime.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome. Thanks, Hans. Katrina.
Hi.
Right.
There's so much running through my head. Phew. And there's really something I feel I have to solve to accept. Still to accept that I live alone here at the moment, because all effort to find a flat now and move now, it dissolves. There's a permanent movement between kind of, this is like rebellion, revolting against how it is, and surrender. And it feels like this, it creates so much struggle also. Yeah. I would love to be able to drop and accept and surrender where I am. And then, I don't know, I always think I have to move somewhere. And then there is this tension in my heart, in the back of my heart, and then I only feel the pain, and then I want to, I think I have to move in it, or I have to move away from it, and it's all like, it's so much. Oh, yeah. When you are sitting like this, do you feel your whole body?
Everything's included, but it's like I realize how little of our bodies we actually feel. It's like there's kind of a vibration that I would call that. If you ask me, am I feeling all my bones and all the blood vessels and all the organs, and I feel a frequency of enjoying. It's like
I remember now that in the end of the retreat last week, I think it was, I had this feeling of the world is in me. I could feel this, like, yeah. And now when I recall this feeling, I see myself as I'm screaming and shouting inside of it, like this part that doesn't find the rest. But maybe, yeah, it's also part of it. I'm kind of so tired of sitting here and crying because there's this tension in my body, like over years, it feels like, oh, again, and yeah. So there is this wanting to heal or transform the patterns, change something, be different.
how beautifully are we allowed to meet in this moment?
Very beautifully, at least from your side. Yeah.
you know, it's worth exploring the difference between exploring how beautifully we can meet the moment or wanting to change ourselves, wanting to change a pattern or wanting to change something. Just to be conscious of the difference between those two focuses.
Mm. 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 Thank you. Mm.
Good. Oi.
Hello, hoi. Just would like to sit.
Yes.
Sound good?
I just made my sound louder so I can hear you better, but that's perfect. Yeah, how you sense what happens when you rest together.
Mm. It felt like there's a lot of releasing in the nervous system,
Hmm.
and I wanted to overjump that, but it's and oh, you hear me?
I can.
And I realized I had this habit to just want to go through that, but then it's not possible. So I just let it do its thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it's like, "Ugh." And then slowly, yeah, then what happens then is difficult to say. And slowly there's more warmth and glow happening. Yeah. 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 You know, in the beginning, when I met you, and then I thought, why do we have a nervous system? And this, I don't like so much the nervous system, you know. And that's what I experience now also, like, oh, I don't want this trembling. Yeah. So can I go through that? You know?
They say that a river, when it's getting close to meet the ocean, also starts to shake like that.
Oh, that's true, but it's funny anyway. Yeah. Mm. And that's also in the neck and the head, you know. It feels sometimes, I had this image last week of like in the Middle Ages, there were these knights, they had this iron protection thing,
Mhm.
you know, this and sometimes the nervous system here feels like such an iron thing. Yeah.
At this moment, do you feel safe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Then no armor is needed.
No.
Thanks, Judith.
Thank you.
Hey, Sarah.
Hello, Isaac.
Hi, Sarah.
Um, um, I I have this question, and I don't really know how to put it, but
No problem.
it's dealing with gurus and about the patterns that arise and how to know, or is there a way to know which patterns can be perverse in a way of money wise or just disciple and guru wise, or there is no way of knowing it.
As we rest here, I'm curious what happens to the sense of boundaries, whether they remain or if they start to disappear.
And they start to disappear. Yes.
Yeah. So really what we call the guru is awareness. It's your own self, it's not outside. We've been brought up in a dualistic conditioning where we believe there's an inside and outside. But when we get quiet, we see there's only here, there's no inside and outside, it's just here. Everything's appearing in this awareness, everything. Time, matter, space, energy. And we are that. So, it's like when we meet what looks like someone, but in their company, we get quiet and boundaries start to disappear. It's like because once those boundaries start to disappear, there is no other. To my knowing, it's like somehow there's this idea of an external authority or an external guru seems like if somehow life invites us to rest and enjoy this moment as the beloved. There is no external authority anymore. There's just love. Is there anything left for that question?
You answered the question just fine. Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you. Oh, yeah.
I have no question. I just would like to meet you in this.
What do you mean by you?
Pardon?
What do you, what do you mean by you? I would like to meet you.
Wrong question.
No problem.
Now my mind keeps busy with your question. That means this duality. Thank you, Asha.
Mm. Ah, Martin. Hey, Martin.
Isaac. Hi.
Hi.
I would like to meet me. It's quite strange times the last weeks. I have been on Gomera in the Finca Aguial, and
Okay.
I found out that you know it very well, that you have been
Yeah.
there quite a few times.
Yeah.
It was really surprising for me. I didn't know that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful spot.
Beautiful, yeah. It was just amazing. I made a medicine dance workshop with Grace. Probably you know
Okay.
her.
Yeah, I know Grace well. Yeah.
Yeah. And I had talks to people that were with you in Australia. So it was really amazing. Yeah. Mm. It was very wonderful there. I really enjoyed it, this spot, and watching whales and just being at the sea and in this amazing coastline. And yeah. And then I took the ferry to Tenerife to meet my girlfriend. And we just stayed there 2 days because my mother died, and I went back to
Oh.
Germany. Mm. And we had the funeral was now at Thursday. And next week I go hiking in the Himalayas and in
Wow.
Mm. Also, I think I have a question. It's about resistance in different moments when it's very hard to accept what is. One example, the funeral of my mother, a neighbor, I almost didn't know him. We invited for the funeral, my brother, sister, and me. And we were sitting together, and he came there because the housekeeper for my mother is the same for him. And he screamed at me, "You didn't pay the housekeeper. It's really bad," and really mad at me. And I just looked at him and listened and said, "Not at the funeral of my mother." And he kept on screaming. I said, "Shut up, not at the funeral of my mother." And then he walked away. It wasn't even true. Before I went to Gomera, I paid her, so it was not true. It was very hard for me not to go in resistance to this, because I know it was like it was. And my sister said, "Oh, I understand him. He has no other chance to say it now, so he says it." Amazing sometimes what's happening.
Yeah, just to watch, you know. I mean, in a way, he came like that, and somehow we think that he had a choice about it.
I know he didn't.
Yeah, and so when you see he had no choice, and it's okay. And you set a boundary. You said, "Not there. Stop." That, you know, at the same time, it activated something in you that you coming back to just, okay, well, I mean, yeah, you know, processing information with a parent passes, it's a strong time. It's quite a bit of information to be present to. So your system was sensitive. It can happen.
It was quite strong activation.
But just to see, it's like anything, yeah. Anything that makes this neighbor wrong, or that just have a quick look at it and see if it's worth giving it any energy at all. Something your system it did that, but then it's over, it's done. It's like, okay.
It just makes you feel bad.
That's it for that moment.
That's something. Yeah.
Leave it. If you keep going back to it, then you just feel bad again. So,
yeah. And there is a knowing that just his system is just dealing that way. Like the system of my sister has to deal that way. You can say it's wrong, it shouldn't be, it's but it doesn't have. They didn't have a choice, like I said.
He didn't have a choice, and your system set a clear boundary. That was it. Okay. But it somehow didn't feel good about it. It didn't want that. It wanted to just to be present to what was happening with the passing of your mom. So, and that was part of it.
It was kind of strange. I was so angry that I couldn't be sad at this because I got angry, and because of that I got more angry. That I couldn't be sad in this moment. So it was strange. Yes.
I don't know if it's necessary to be sad. Sadness comes when it comes, goes when it goes.
I had one really strange thing, because in this seminar of grace, we were also, thinking or experience a little bit magical things, like animals coming in a strange way, birds coming, when we thought, what's happening there? Insects. And well, in her magical thinking of a little shamanism, we kind of, I dealt with it. And my girlfriend and I, we had a really strange experience one day before the funeral. We were walking along the Rhine River. It was raining very strong. We were under the umbrella. And suddenly, over the Rhine River, there was a double rainbow. I never saw something like that. It was really amazing. It was like out of stone in all colors, and you could see everything. And there was a second one around it. It was not broken. It was, and the countryside behind it was like another
Dimension,
space, another dimension. And it was for minutes. We were just standing there. It's unbelievable. And never saw that, something like that. And I thought, what is it? It was very strange. Beautiful. It was beautiful. Beautiful. And we were standing in the rain. So my mother often said, the people are taking themselves so seriously. They always think, oh, we are reborn, or there is a paradise and thing. And she said, it's everything bullshit. We die and it's like a leaf falling from a tree, and that was it. And she said, my father always told me, when it's the possibility to, when I'm dead, to tell you, there's something, I'm gonna tell you. And she says, I never heard something from him. And there I thought, okay, is this something? Not like a message, or is it just, I don't know.
The truth is, we don't know.
I think this is a very important quintessence to reach.
You know, it's just like all we have is the moment. That's it. That's it. And we either dancing with it and enjoying it, or we waiting for a better experience. So I don't know.
Thanks a lot, Isaac.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. Bettina, thank you very much for hosting. Where's Bettina? Ah, there you are. Well, thank you. Thank you, beloveds, for being here. Good night.